In the smoke-filled forest, countless zombies rush towards a distant group of survivors. Indeed, they are the X Squad heading to California. On their way, X Squad finds the area shrouded in smoke, suggesting a nearby fire, forcing them to advance with wet towels over their mouths and noses. With their vision impaired, they must be ready for sudden zombie attacks at any moment. Fortunately, their combat skills are strong, making dealing with zombies not too difficult. After 10 minutes, they wearily exit the forest and see a building that seems to be a motel in the distance. X Squad decides to check it out and rest there for the night if it's safe.
Anybody in there?
You think it's deserted?
Give me that.
As they are prying the door open, zombies start surrounding them from behind. Murphy steps forward, his powerful mental force emanating, causing the zombies to immediately turn and leave. But this isn't a long-term solution. They must quickly pry the door open to take refuge. Unbeknownst to them, a group inside the house is watching and debating whether to open the door. They have been hiding there since the apocalypse and haven't seen other survivors for a long time. Unsure of what to do, they each express their opinions. Eventually, they agree not to open the door, but one man named Iggy has a different view.
It's been more than a year since we've seen outsiders. Maybe they have information we can use.
Keep your voice down.
We can't just leave them out there.
Iggy, you're defying consensus.
Iggy, don't!
If you open the door, there are going to be consequences. There's somebody in there.
Open up or you'll be sorry!
Ignoring their objections, Iggy decisively opens the door.
Welcome.
Roberta is surprised to see so many people inside, but with zombies outside, they have to enter first. Both parties keep their guns at the ready, remaining cautious.
Turn around and go back the way you came.
Look, we don't want to hurt you, but we cannot turn around. There are way too many Z's out there.
Not much oxygen either.
Who's in charge?
The burly man leading the group calmly says, "My name is Gideon. We believe in democracy here. There are no leaders. All major decisions are made by everyone's participation." Roberta nods and explains they mean no harm and just want to hide there until the zombies disperse. Gideon then signals his companions to lower their weapons. Interestingly, this group of survivors is somewhat unique. They have rarely fought zombies and their survival is quite rare. More peculiarly, they make major decisions using a speaking stick. Whoever holds it speaks, and the rest listen quietly. Dana explains this effective method was proposed by Gideon, whose leadership kept them alive in the apocalypse, but no one notices the slight disdain in the expressions of some of their own team members. Taking the speaking stick, Gideon says, "Since you've come here, we need to establish trust to avoid conflict. I'll start with my first impression of you." Then, he turns to Roberta.
You are the leader. You're a natural, and you have a wisdom, but it's born of loss.
Addie and the others were startled. This guy seemed to have some skills.
You're the strong one, right? There's a lot of loss in those eyes. I think it's more loss than you can handle. She relies on you. You are the enforcer, brother. You're tough, but your scars can cloud your judgment. Son, you've got a good heart, but you're a little bit angry. And yet, somehow, you've managed to keep your sense of humor. Got the weight of the world on your shoulders, don't you? I can see it. You do more for these people than they even realize. They never really get the respect that you deserve either.
It's somewhat incredible. Gideon's observations are spot on. Roberta takes the stick and expresses her stance.
We'll stand down.
Thus, a consensus is reached. Though Gideon doesn't offer food for now, Gideon wants to discuss with Roberta how to coexist peacefully, while the others wait outside. During their discussion, Iggy shows 10K and Doc around the motel, even sharing some of his private food stash with them. Iggy actually envies the freedom of the X Squad outside and had once suggested that the motel residents venture out, but his proposal was unanimously rejected. Vasquez is tasked with keeping an eye on Murphy, making sure he doesn't wander off. He planned to sit on the sofa for a rest, but Murphy had already sprawled himself there. Vasquez really felt like giving Murphy a good beating. What Vasquez didn't know was that Murphy was up to no good again. Murphy quietly concentrates and uses his telekinesis, causing zombies to suddenly crash against the glass door outside. Without much thought, Vasquez gets up to check. Once Vasquez leaves, Murphy quickly gets up. Murphy is really hungry and plans to sneak into the food storage room to find something to eat. However, his actions are noticed by a member of the motel, making his plan not so easy to accomplish. Meanwhile, Addie follows Dana to the rooftop to see if they can fix the radio antenna. During this process, Dana confides her feelings. She tells Addie that, although the place seems safe, everyone wants to escape. She claims that Gideon, who talks about democracy, actually has a strong desire for control. Dana asks Addie to take her with them, but Addie harshly tells her that the outside world is dangerous and not as wonderful as she imagines. Living safely here is already a blessing. Dana doesn't believe it. Just then,
Hey, Murphy! Murphy!
Help! Somebody help!
Yeah.
a gunshot echoes throughout the building, and everyone comes out to see what happened. They find that the gunshot came from the food storage room, but the door is locked. After breaking in, their worst fears are realized. Murphy and Greg are found lying on the ground, both evidently shot. Everyone rushes to check their injuries. Murphy is unconscious, having been shot in the shoulder. Greg, shot in the heart, should be dead by all accounts, but astonishingly, he still has a breath. No one knows what happened, so they can only place them on a table and tend to their wounds.
I can't stop the bleeding.
Hey, you need to mercy him.
Wait, he's not turning.
We can't mercy him before he's dead.
There's no time to discuss this.
We have to process this without violence.
We could talk about this later. What you need to do is tie up your man and secure him before he turns, or I will mercy him myself.
Roberta stopped their argument. Doc examines Murphy's injury and finds that the bullet went straight through his shoulder, which isn't fatal. The cause of Murphy's unconsciousness is likely a severe head injury, possibly a concussion, or he might never wake up again. All they can do now is wait. Vasquez first uses tape to tie Greg to a bed. Then, using his years of experience as a policeman, he starts to reconstruct the crime scene. There was only one gunshot, but two victims. From this angle, it seems Murphy came here for food, and the shooter ambushed him from this spot. The bullet passed through Murphy's chest and, by sheer coincidence, hit Greg's heart.
Continues on. It's victim number 2 in the heart.
Murphy also fell face first to the ground, which caused his severe head injury. Doc, upon hearing this, has a sudden realization. If the bullet that hit Greg was contaminated with Murphy's blood, could Greg become like Cassandra? No wonder Greg didn't die despite his heart injury. At this moment, Gideon calls them to discuss how to handle this situation. Vasquez quietly leaves without joining in, as he wants to look for clues about the shooter. Roberta, accompanied by 10K and others, walks over, suppressing their rage. She was outraged that anyone would dare attack them, and she didn't mind resorting to violence if she found out who it was. However, some people in the motel counterattack, suggesting that perhaps someone from X Squad did it, pointing fingers at 10K. Their reason is that there seems to be bad blood between 10K and Murphy. Addie laughs in disbelief. They are escorts. How could they do such a thing? But right now, they can't reveal Murphy's identity. 10K takes the speaking stick and speaks bluntly.
Murphy's not my friend. Never will be. I have more than enough reasons to want to kill him. And when the time comes, I will kill him, happily. But it's not the time.
Just then, Vasquez returns with a bag of items. He found this food hidden on top of a cabinet at the crime scene, obviously stashed by someone from the motel, probably planning to leave secretly. Murphy might have been shot by accident when he stumbled upon it. Hearing this analysis, the motel group becomes chaotic. Unable to tolerate such underhanded actions, Gideon, with no other choice, first signaled for everyone to calm down. Besides him, only Iggy, the manager, has the key to the storage. Iggy felt wronged. He did want to leave here, but that was the whole team leaving together. He never thought of escaping quietly by himself. The food he hid was just for occasional snacking. He didn't shoot Murphy.
All of us to leave! This place is a death trap!
Iggy. Brother, if you want people to start believing what you say, you gotta start telling the truth.
The truth! I am telling the truth, you bastard!
Now, whether Iggy is the shooter or not is irrelevant. The one who stole the food will be banished, as per the motel's rules.
At least give him a weapon! Wait! You shouldn't have done what you did, Iggy! And take this!
Please don't let me! Please don't me!
Iggy's pleas fall on deaf ears, and he leaves, dejected, into the thick fog. But zombies, drawn by the scent of a living person, are approaching,